Good morning, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am your host, Patricia Rivera Wolfson, and I am an intuitive coach, an energy practitioner, and a life strategist. Oh, I am live. Oops. Hold on, guys. Oop. Okay. I was just going to repeat. You were going to hear me in the background, and that is not something we want to hear. We don't want to hear me echoing in the background. So, welcome to anyone who is on the show. Please say hi. Let me know you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from, because that's just awesome knowing how many people are gathering to watch the show. Um, So, this week and last week, I've been doing a seven-part series called Healing Your Emotional Wounds. And as I mentioned, this is a workshop that I've done in the past. I'm actually working on a new ebook for it. Really, it's kind of like I don't know what to call it, but um, sort of something that you can pamphlet paper. Oh, God. Brain fog starts early today. Okay. Anyway, it is just sort of a booklet, a guidebook to help you move through these steps, step 1 through 7. But I decided to bring it here to the show so that we could do it together, so that you can start working on this, because I believe it's so important. Right now, we are being activated and triggered on a daily basis, probably on a and very personal levels in your own life. I'm sure you're going through tremendous ups and downs. You're probably facing some really big decisions, some really incredible transformation in your life, or you're at the precipice of that transformation. And when you're at the precipice of big transformation in your life, very often what it looks like is everything falling apart. It's like every section of your life is going through sort of a revolution, whether it be like an emotional revolution where you're questioning things, you're feeling lost or disconnected from things maybe that were once important to you. And now it's not that they're not important, but you just don't know how you feel about them. You just don't know if you're sort of chasing them or doing them because you want to, because that's what you're supposed to do, because that's what you've always done. And this is where we are right now. Um, as a collective, we are being asked to really look at our lives and look at how we show up in the world, how we represent ourselves in the world, but not just represent, but how do we reflect our inner light on the outside? Or how is the outer world reflecting our inner world? And we kind of have to work on both of those things to create a balance, right? So if you're feeling really strongly and connected to something, then we have to like kind of fight for that, and we have to choose that, and you choose it over and over again, just like any relationship, right? When you choose a life partner, you don't just choose them once, get married, and then you're done, right? You kind of choose your partner every day by showing up for them, by being your best self around them, by working on that relationship and putting that relationship, making it a priority in your life, and making staying connected to that relationship a priority in your life. And this is something that we need to do for every aspect of our life. So building that relationship with yourself, building that relationship with your dreams and your desires, building that relationship with your friends and family, with the people who are important to you, that are close to you, building a relationship with your goals, in such a way that you are working towards them and not just leaving them behind, or not just hoping for someday, or not doing that, well, when this happens, then that. No, there is no when this, then that. It is now. It is the present. How are you going to embody what you want in this moment? How are you going to transform your life in this moment? How are you going to start making different choices that serve your highest good in this moment? Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you've lost 20 pounds, not when you've gotten $600 million. No, right now, as you are in this moment, in your current capacity, with your current life experience, in your current situation, how can you bring what you want to the table? How can you embody the feeling you want? And that's really what this entire series is about. Because when we are triggered, okay, and in this sense, the way I talk about it is not from the trauma informed perspective. So if you have deep trauma, please find a professional trauma informed therapist so that you can work through these things. Okay. But I am going through like how to process on a practical level each day when things happen, when you have a trigger. And a trigger, as I said, in this instance, we're talking about a strong emotional response that maybe makes you uncomfortable, or a strong emotional response that makes other people uncomfortable. And therefore, you want to manage it or navigate it. This is the types of triggers that I'm talking about, something that hits deep, right, and it brings something up for you and maybe you don't even realize it. And so that's why I teach, like, when something happens that creates a visceral response, right, a visceral powerful response in your body, it is because it is connected to a deep wound, it is connected to a limiting belief or something there that doesn't quite fit with your highest good, right? Because anytime you feel uncomfortable, it means you're not connected with spirit, right? Because spirit is always comfortable, no matter how, no matter what's going on, right? There's always a confidence and a clarity with spirit. Spirit knows that whatever you're going through is for your highest good. So there's never any panic. Spirit doesn't panic about things, right? Spirit doesn't, spirit understands, right? God understands what you're going through and doesn't judge you and doesn't shame you, regardless of what many spiritual teachings or religious teachings have taught you. The God that I am connected to does not guilt you or shame you for being human. The whole point of us being here is being human, right? Is doing human things, making mistakes, trying things out, feeling things that are both good and bad, okay? Because that's the whole reason we're in this body, so we can feel things and we can learn things and we can grow and we can evolve. And with us, we can bring humanity and we can all evolve together, because then we'll know, oh, no, we don't want to stick into this area. We don't want to do too many of these things because that doesn't feel good to this, vessel. I want more of this stuff. We need to do more things like this that helps our vessel expand, that helps humanity expand. So, how are you helping yourself expand? How are you helping yourself spiritually connect to the things that are important in your life? Okay. I can get off track so easily because it's not really off track because everything's connected, but here we go. Okay, I want to get right back to what we're talking about. So, 7 steps to healing your emotional wounds. We've already done naming them, which is identifying your emotions and where they show up in your body. Okay. Validating them, which is learning how to honor and validate your feelings with compassion, no judgment. Okay. Number 3, we've talked about contemplating it or doing that inner work where you've uncovered the root causes of these emotional triggers, right? So you've done that work going, oh, that's why I react this way. Okay. Then we yesterday did owning it, right? Taking responsibility of how your patterns and your beliefs shape your experience, right? So important. We have to own how we are doing those things to ourselves, how we are upholding those beliefs for ourselves and giving other people the power to name us or invalidate us. You got to take that power away from them. You got to take it back. Okay. So the 5th step, okay, that we are talking about today is transformation. Okay. We're talking about transforming it. And we're going to talk about how to shift your perspective and transform those emotional wounds into opportunities for growth and empowerment. Okay. We're going to talk more about that in a bit. But first, we're going to do our usual warm up. So please grab your candle if you have one. Here we go. Do, do, do. Man, my morning voice the last couple of days, like, seriously, whew, it's like a radio voice. Hello. Oh, I wish I had my mic. I don't have my mic anymore. I gave it to one of my kids. so that they could use it to play video games because I'm that kind of mom. I gave up my mic for them, and now you guys just have to listen to me through here. Hope you like it. Okay. All right. Okay, so we've lit the candle. Oh God, bear with me, people. We've lit the candle. And now I'm going to, oh, we're going to do our 3 deep breaths. See, I need to reset myself. 3 deep breaths. You're going to inhale and imagine your love, all of the love, light, and life force energy the universe and God has to offer you. And I want you to call it into your body. When you inhale, bring it into your body. And I want you to feel that beautiful energy just going through your whole body and reaching every single cell and dissolving and dissipating any energy that does not belong. And as you exhale, I want you to release that energy and we'll just set the intention that Mother Nature is going to transmute it into something better. Okay, and we're going to do that 3 times. Then we're going to just do a quick little stretch. We're going to shake it out and then we'll begin. Well, we'll say our prayer and then begin. Okay, deep breath in. Let's go. Deep breath and hold and release. I actually like to do some of the stretching while I'm breathing because it releases that tension. Okay, another deep breath in and hold and release. Kind of started releasing that already. Oh my God, I am so tense. It's killing me. All right, let's do it one more time. Last deep breath, really make it count. Okay, here we go. And hold and release. Okay. Whew. I'm having like, I don't know if I'm having a hot flash or if it's spirit. Oh, maybe that'd be a game. Spirit or hot flash. I don't know. Okay. So now we're stretching. Okay. We're just going to stretch what you can. Stretch any part where you're feeling sort of tense or stiff. Anywhere you're feeling tension or stiffness, or if you're feeling pain, be very, very gentle. Okay. Breathe into it if you've got pain. And then breathing out, releasing that pain if you can. Okay, and shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Woo! Okay. Oh my God, guys, I'm sweating. All right, sorry. Woo! All right. Whew. Okay. I'm in my work gear because I have an organization client today. So I'm wearing my work t-shirt. If anybody's lives close and is looking for personal organization, I will direct you to my business partner, Andrea. She's amazing. Yeah, anyway, I'm part of the team and we help clients organize their homes because that is energetic clearing as well. Believe me. Oh my God, how much work gets done when you release the physical clutter. Okay, but that's another topic for another day. Actually, maybe I'll come and bring Andrea on one day and you guys can talk to her. Okay, so let's call in our spiritual support team. I am so grateful that I can do this. You also call in your team if you want, based on your religious practices or beliefs. Call in with a prayer or with silence meditation, however you want. Okay, thank you. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping us all set an intention that is in alignment with our highest good for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you for showing us the signs and synchronicities and messages through music, nature, movies, through the cards that I pull, and through the words that other people say. I appreciate you, I serve you, and I'm grateful for any and all wisdom you may have to share with me in the collective today and always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Okay, so Now, while you sit and just think about your intention for the day, or perhaps reflect on your GPS word, let me remind you that I do have in the description some links that you might be interested in. Number one, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and ding that notification bell so you know when I'm going to be live. Also, know that if you would like a personal reading or a strategy session or a couples reading, my calendar is open. Go ahead and book yourself in whenever you can. And if when I talk about the GPS word or say certain things you don't understand what I'm talking about, or you're new to this channel, then please go ahead and download my free guide to transformation. The link is in the description, and that's going to give you a little breakdown about how to easily get your GPS word and some energy hacks that you can implement into your day so that hopefully you could benefit from some of the work that I do. Okay. And it's also going to give you a basis for the things that we do here, which is important. All right, little sip, and let's continue. Mm. All right. So, in part 5 of our 7-part series, Healing Your Emotional Wounds, we're diving into transform it, right? So, all those steps, we already talked about them. We're going to transform it. And what am I talking about? I want to talk about this step that is going to empower you to rewrite your emotional story and create a new reality, okay? Because we need to acknowledge the situations, the things that happen to us, the things that people say, right? And all of the previous steps really has you acknowledging what happened and validating how you feel about it and asking you to take a look at how you can stop making yourself feel the way these experiences or these people who you're experiencing, how they make you feel, right? So that you can step in and navigate your life in a way that feels good to you, in a way that leads you in the direction that you want to go, feeling and embodying what you want in life as much as possible. But when things happen, when you have an event or a trigger, oh, good morning, Leslie. Hi, so nice to see you. Um, okay, sorry, I got distracted. I had a friend show up. Hi. Okay, so when something happens that kind of shakes you, that triggers you, that creates a strong emotional response that makes you or other people uncomfortable, you may want to take a step back and figure out what is it trying to tell you, right? All of the steps before kind of has you doing that work. But this step, the transformation step, it asks you to take a look at it and then figure out how would you choose for it to be different, right? Like if you could, if it's something with a person, if it's a situation you had with a person, if you could direct that person or the situation, what would you like to see happen? So literally rewriting the event, right? As if you were an author or a writer or a screenwriter, if you want, and this is your movie. And let's say this scene and the way it played out, you're like, screw that. I hate the way that played out. So I want you to take this opportunity to rewrite the scene. So, literally talk yourself through, if this happened, then this person said this, but I really wish they said that. And that would have been a much more effective way to communicate with me. And then you continue with the scene and you recreate it. Okay. And I want you to think about how would you have liked them to behave, and think about the details if it's a person, or what do you wish they had said to you? Or if it's a situation, what do you wish had happened? What circumstances do you wish had been different? Now, this is not just about I don't want you to think just in the abstract, although you can if you want to rewrite it in the abstract, but as much as possible, ground it in the reality of your life and think about maybe what you would do differently as well. You know how sometimes we replay situations and we're like, God, I wish I had said this and I wish I'd said that and I should have done this. So I want you to really think about that. How would you have reacted? What do you wish you had said? What would have given you more power in that situation? And that's really the key. Is I want you to think about, when you think about this situation, when you think about this relationship or whatever it is that's triggering you, I want you to think about how you could have shown up in a more empowered way. Where do you wish you could have done things differently? And of course, you also think like that person could have just not done this or avoided this. But very often we don't have control. I mean, not very often. We never have control over what other people say or do or how they act. We never have control in that particular situation. You know, when something happens, like a storm comes, you can't stop the storm, but you can maybe find some shelter before, if you know it's coming, right? You can maybe put on a raincoat and grab an umbrella depending on how strong the storm is, right? Like, you can't avoid the things that happen in life. You can't avoid the circumstances that you face. You can't avoid interactions with people if they're just meant to happen or if you're having them. But what you can do is you can prepare yourself. You can protect yourself. You can take steps so that the damage is minimal, right? If there's a storm, you got to board up the walls if it's a hurricane or a tornado, right? Where I don't know if that's when you do it, right? A tornado, hurricane, I don't know. Linda, my bestie used to live in Florida, so she knows what to do during a storm. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to prepare for the storms. And what this work is going to do, it's going to help you prepare for the next situation. It's going to help you prepare for the next person. Because if there is something that is triggering you, if there is something that is happening that hits that emotional wound, until you really look at it and heal it and make a different choice and break that pattern that emotional wound has created within you, then you're going to experience it over and over again in different ways, and with different people and with different situations. And so really, this part of it, this transforming it, is giving you a little foresight to plan in advance, right? It's giving you the power for you to be prepared, okay, for the next time, so that you can look at it differently, so that you can feel it differently, so you have different answers, different situations, so that you have a different emotional fortitude to deal with it differently. Because that is how you're going to break the chains of control. You're going to break the chains of expectations. You're going to break the chains for yourself that you lock yourself into in order to do or people please or be the person other people want you to be, right? Because that's what happens, right? When we are disconnected from ourselves and when we are validating others' judgments on us, we become completely disconnected from ourselves. And this step is to empower you to know that you have the opportunity to choose differently every time. You have the opportunity to break that pattern, to make a different choice, to take different actions. But you have to practice. It doesn't happen overnight. So this is just like a test, right? And when you go over the test, like, oh, I got this answer wrong on this test, how would I do it differently? That's what this is, this transformation part. It's telling you, hey, this was the question, right? And this, the way it went, you didn't like the way it went. So that result was not exactly what you wanted. That was not exactly the right answer. So how would I approach that differently? And you take some time to go over the test, right? You go over the experience, you go over that relationship, and not to beat yourself up or to guilt yourself and be like, God, I'm such an idiot. I screwed up again. I did the same thing again. No, that's not the point. The point is for you to look at it and go, ooh, I did this, but I really could have done that. Or I said this, but if I had said this, it would have had a different response. And maybe you don't know if it would have had a different response. But next time you can practice saying this instead and seeing what response you get. You can practice doing this next time and seeing what result evolves from that different choice. And this is how we grow. This is how we evolve. This is how we build our resilience to facing the things that we need to face. It is how we peel the onion and really discover what's underneath and how you can show up differently and better and more evolved each time. Okay, so I'm going to give you three journal prompts. Then I'm going to pull a card and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, so journal prompt number one. If you could direct the person or the situation, excuse me, no. I mean, you could ask that too. If you could direct the person or the situation, how would it have happened differently, right? But the journal prompt that I really wanted you to get there, I have three little simple journal prompts, okay? But again, any of the things that I mentioned, I want you to think about when you're processing this event in your life or this trigger. Okay. I want you to think about all the things that we mentioned, thinking about how you would like that person to behave differently, how you would like to behave differently. And then I want you to really just sit down and think, what would make me feel better? Okay. Like just write, what would make me feel better? So in this moment, right now, what would make you feel better, right? Is it a phone call to that person and saying what you need to say? Is it blocking that person because that relationship no longer serves you? You know, I'm not advocating for disconnection, but you do what you got to do. You know what you have to do. I don't know what you need to deal with. I don't live your life, so you decide. Um, if you think about what would make you feel better, it's like, what actions or decisions do you wish you had made, or do you think you can still make right now so that you can shift this experience from a negative one to one where you feel empowered, to one where you're closer to your GPS word, right? And really, that's the key. What would make me feel better? What can I do that will help me to embody and practice my GPS word? So if your GPS word is peace, you think about the situation and say, what can I do here that will bring me more peace? What steps can I take right now that will help me feel more peaceful about this situation? Right? Everything goes back to that GPS word because that is your anchor. That is how you can practice feeling that feeling in every situation. Okay. And so, of course, the next journal prompt is, if I could wave a magic wand, what do I wish had happened? Okay. And that is, as I explained earlier, you know, you're writing a movie scene. And so the movie scene went this way. Maybe you, as the audience, didn't like it that much and you want to change the scene. Go ahead and rewrite that scene and rewrite it in a way where you feel empowered, where you are connected to your GPS word and you're able to move through it without emotional turmoil. Okay. So think about that for yourself. And the last one I want you to ask is, how would I have handled it if I was in control? Okay. Very often we get triggered because we feel like somebody, you know, kind of cuts in, and maybe we feel exposed or vulnerable, which helps us feel like out of control of the situation of how we're feeling, right? Where somebody else has that power. You want to eliminate that power. And so I want you to rethink this. If you were in control, right? And do whatever you need to do to think about that in that way, right? Like, if, you know, sometimes I'll be like, if I was Oprah, how would I take care of this? Now I say Oprah because she's just someone that I'm like, you know, she's a powerful woman and she makes a crap ton of money. And nobody, you know, if she says this is how I want it, chances are everybody's like, well, that's what Oprah wants. So that's what Oprah gets. Right. So if you were Oprah, or, you know, whoever your mentor or someone you really look up to and the way they lead their lives, think to yourself, like, how would they handle this? If this happened to that person, right? If this happened to Oprah, if this happened to, you know, whatever, I don't know why I can't get Oprah out of my head, but let's just say that I watched her on TV my whole life and loved what she did, right? In terms of like bringing things to the surface, talking about real issues, right? And so when I think about that, but more than anything, is I always use her as a powerful woman, right? A woman who built her life, that created so much out of nothing, right? So that to me, she's like the epitome of power in that sense, right? So I think, like, would she like do something she doesn't want to do? Would she let someone disrespect her? Would she allow this situation to continue? What would she do? Right? What would she do that maybe wasn't attached to money? Right? So those are things that you can play with for yourself so that you can find your pathway to healing these emotional wounds that you have. It is not the end, right? You can evolve, you can heal, and you can use the things that have happened to you. You know, and I am not trying to dismiss anything that's happened to you that maybe is traumatic or that has affected your life tremendously. Look, and I speak from my own experience. Okay, you can't take away the pain of the things that you've gone through. It doesn't just disappear, but you can use it for your own empowerment. You can transmute it. Instead of it being a weakness, as a foundation for your strength to stand on, knowing that you survived it, knowing that you faced it and you got through it. And that in itself is powerful. But you have to acknowledge that power. No one else is going to acknowledge the power of what you've been through and your strength and how you face things. You have to do it. Okay. All right. So I hope that that little pep talk helped you today. All right. I am going to pull a card and see what does Spirit have to say to you about the power of transforming your emotional wounds. Okay. So let's see. What is the advice that Spirit has for you today? Oh, I am like sweating, guys. Okay. I know it's hot out, but like it's hard to say. Hard to say. Okay, these cards are sticky. I don't know. Let's do it one more time. Okay, come on. What do we need to do to transform the emotional wounds that we are still holding on to, Spirit? Okay, all right. I feel like that was cheating. Didn't we get this card yesterday? The Ace of Discs. Okay. The Ace of Discs, which is the Ace of Pentacles, which goes back to the foundation, okay? Because discs and pentacles are earthly things. It is our vessel. It is our planet. It is our money. It is our stuff, okay? And the Ace of Pentacles is really like, I feel like this message is like grounding yourself in reality, in your power to co-create, right? Because that's what we have here. We are spiritual beings in this physical plane, making things come true, bringing things to life, creating our dreams, okay? And so this is like you have the power to do things differently. You have the power to approach things on this physical plane in a different way. You have the power to manifest differently based on how you are looking at things. It is all in your hands. Look at this. I love that. Okay. And actually, I'm going to do an oracle card too. And then I'm going to wrap it up because I'm late. Sorry, boss. Okay. That's okay. My team is there looking out for me. We're a good team together. I'm not actually late, but later than I'd like to be. Okay. Okay, what is the other message that Spirit has? Give me one thing of how we can face this transformation together. And what can we do to face it? No? Is that resistance? Is that resistance to facing transformation? Come on. Yeah, there's resistance to facing transformation. God, I know. The world is transforming right now. Okay, you don't want to do it that way? Do it this way. Okay, all right, fine. Once again, the fates. Like, can you believe this? How many times did you guys see me shuffle that? The fates. Okay, I don't know. Oh, wait, this card came up for me. It didn't come up for you yesterday. I did my own card pull, and the fates came up. And what is the fates? Is that you have to allow for things to evolve and happen as they are meant to happen. Some things are meant for your evolution. And I truly believe that we are at a time right now where everything that we are going through, like as a collective, is for our collective benefit, right? But it's like anything else. If you are planting a new garden, right, you have to first go till the soil. And what happens when you till the soil? You are just like turning up all that soil and everything kind of gets mixed up and everything like kind of gets up on its head. In order for you to plant new seeds, you kind of have to like really shake things up and take apart the foundation and just let it all come down and plant new and plant fresh, right? And that is in the hands of Spirit. So you just have to trust that everything that you are facing right now is part of your personal evolution. It's also part of our collective evolution. But when you look at it from a personal perspective, know that everything that is happening for you is happening for you. And don't forget it. Stay connected and know that you are the light that this world needs. And I really, really hope you keep shining. Okay, that's it for me today. I really, truly love you all. I will be back tomorrow. Have a wonderful